The Ukrainian military destroyed the launcher of the S-300V air and missile defense system of the Russian invaders in the Zaporizhia region. It is stated that the self-propelled launcher was hit last night behind enemy lines. For this purpose, the armed forces of Ukraine used a drone, the type of which is not disclosed, probably a bomber drone that dropped one or more ammunition on the launcher. After the S-300V was hit, the drone landed nearby to observe this element of Russian air defense burning on the temporarily occupied territory. The camera of the Ukrainian drone recorded the powerful burning and the personnel walking next to it. After this damage, the launcher is likely beyond repair. The S-300V is an anti-aircraft missile system for the ground forces that started to enter service in 1983 under the S-300V1 designation. All components of the system are self-propelled and mounted on tracked chassis. The system is designed to defend important state, military, and industrial facilities, as well as troop groups, from aircraft, ballistic, and tactical missiles using two types of surface-to-air missiles. As a result of the S-300V deep modernization, the Russian Federation has produced the S-300VM Anti-2500 modification, which is armed with new anti-aircraft guided missiles with an increased range and improved other characteristics. Last year, the armed forces of Ukraine struck a radar and a launcher from the S-300V system of the Russian invaders with a combined strike. A very good and relevant video from Ukrainian Peaky Blinders unit that shows who a Russian is. He came to Ukrainian land in search of violence and earnings. When violence was used against him, he immediately decided to make a deal. He shows Ukrainian drone that everything is fine, he is not going to fight anymore, he asks not to beat him anymore. But when the drone flies away a little, the Russian understands that after all it was possible to make a deal, and they will not fire on him. He cunningly takes out a rifle and shoots the one from whom he had just asked for mercy. This is all you need to know about the cunning of the Russians. Joint work by the 77th Airmobile Brigade, 1st Presidential Brigade, and a Chile's drone regiment. On February 24th, Russian troops launched an assault with armored vehicles, but Ukrainian forces successfully repelled the attack near the outskirts of Lozova-Kupiansk direction. As of December 2024, the Kupiansk sector in Ukraine's Kharkiv region remains a focal point of intense military activity. Ukrainian forces, notably the 14th Separate Mechanized Brigade, have successfully repelled multiple Russian assaults, inflicting significant losses on enemy personnel and equipment. For instance, in a recent engagement, Ukrainian troops halted a Russian convoy comprising infantry fighting vehicles and tanks, resulting in the destruction of several armored units and the elimination of numerous enemy combatants. Despite adverse weather conditions and the challenges of nighttime operations, Russian forces have persisted in their offensive efforts. Russians transport mortar ammunition using a donkey at the front line. Russia is ready to negotiate with both Ukraine and Europe, but combat will only stop with a result that satisfies Russia, says Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Trump stated he could meet President Zelensky to sign the minerals agreement as soon as this or next week. I will meet with President Zelensky. In fact, he may come this or next week to sign the deal, Trump said.
I will be meeting with President Zelensky. In fact, he may come in this week or next week to sign the agreement, and which would be nice. I'd love to meet him. Would meet at the Oval Office. So the agreement's being worked on now. They're very close to a final deal. It'll be a deal with rare earths and various other things, and he would like to come, as I understand it, here to sign it, and that would be great with me. I think they then have to get it approved by their council or whoever might approve it, but I'm sure that will happen.
An American strategic bomber, the B-52H Stratofortress, flew over the Estonian capital during the country's Independence Day celebrations. The Stratofortress flew over Tallinn, accompanied by 2 FA-18 Hornet fighters and 4 Dutch F-35s. Dutch fighters are involved in 2 NATO operations in the region, patrolling Baltic airspace as part of the Baltic Air Policing Mission and protecting maritime infrastructure as part of Baltic Sentry. After flying over the Estonian capital, the B-52H headed east toward St. Petersburg. Reaching the 80-kilometer mark before the Russian border, it changed course to the south. On the way back, the bomber flew over Latvia and Lithuania and then crossed Polish airspace through the so-called Suwalki Gap. It is worth noting that this is not the first time the B-52H has flown over Tallinn as part of the Independence Day celebrations. In general, stratofortress activity in the region is a regular occurrence, as the aircraft frequently carry out exercises and missions. Recently, it was reported that the North Atlantic Alliance deployed surface drones in the Baltic Sea as part of the Task Force X program. The deployment took place off the coast of Denmark from February 17th to 20th and was aimed at testing NATO's ability to integrate maritime drones into naval task forces. The operation involved joint maneuvers and firing, as well as enhancing the situational awareness of the forces involved in the Baltic Sentry mission. Previously, on February 21st, the Latvian military airfield in Lielvārde received Dutch F-35 fighters. The Latvian Air Force itself does not have its own fighters in service, but it has 3 air bases that are capable of receiving them. Swedish soldiers have joined NATO's multinational brigade in Latvia for the first time, participating in Exercise Oak. This large-scale drill sharpens combat readiness and enhances warfighting skills, reinforcing NATO's eastern flank. With over 2,000 troops from 14 NATO nations, the exercise serves as a critical combat readiness evaluation for NATO's multinational brigade Latvia. It strengthens interoperability among allied forces, ensuring a unified and effective defense posture. This historic milestone highlights Sweden's growing role in NATO's collective security, further solidifying the alliance's presence and deterrence capabilities in the region. Ukrainian underwater drone Toloka is being updated. What's new in the TLK-150 model? During the presentation of the achievements of the Ukrainian defense industry, the developers of the Toloka underwater drone demonstrated its updated smallest model. Since the first demonstration in April 2023, the drone has received a number of visual design changes. As we have already reported, 3 models of Toloka are being developed: TLK-1000, TLK-400, TLK-150. The largest TLK-1000, depending on the task, can be from 4 to 12 meters long, and the payload can be up to 5,000 kilograms of warhead. At the same time, the developers wanted to achieve a range of up to 2,000 kilometers. TLK-400 has more modest characteristics. Its size can be from 4 to 6 meters, its payload can be up to 500 kilograms, and its range can be up to 1,200 kilometers. These underwater drones were demonstrated only in the presentation, but for the TLK-150, in addition to the announced characteristics, they also showed its full-size model.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. He's doing the job every day.